Hi everyone, today let's do the poem No Men Are Foreign from Class 9 Beehive. Today we are going to do this poem which is written by James Kirker and it is titled as No Men Are Foreign. This poem is basically based on the theme of universal brotherhood, wherein the poet is giving us food for thought that why do we call people of other country as foreign? In fact, there is no difference between them and us. We share the same earth, we share the same air, water, we have the same emotions within us. Then why should we call them foreign? And why should we be enemies of each other? Let's read and understand this thought-provoking poem, after which I will summarize it stanza-wise. Then we will do the poetic devices and rhyme scheme of this poem, and at the end we will look at the question answers related to it. But first, let's know something about James Kirkup. James Falconer Kirkup was born on 23rd April 1918 in England. He was an English poet, translator, and travel writer. He wrote over 45 books, including autobiographies, novels, and plays. He became a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1962. His skilled writing of haiku and tanka is acknowledged internationally. He was awarded with Atlantic Award for Literature, Japan PEN Club Prize for Poetry, Scott Moncrieff Prize for Translation in 1992. He died in Andorra on 10th May 2009 at the age of 91. Have you ever thought of some people as strange or other countries as foreign? We have many ways of thinking of other people as different from us as them. They may belong to a different country or speak a different language. In this poem, however, the poet reminds us of the many ways in which we are all the same, for we are all human. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other, it is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The poet here is reminding us, he is saying that no men are strange. Strange means unknown, weird. And no country is foreign. Foreign means which does not belong to us. But beneath all these uniforms, that means every country has got military power. And military power is referred to here as uniforms. People in uniform, that is the soldiers who wear those uniforms, under those uniforms, there is a single body which breathes just like we do. So, all these soldiers who are securing the borders of their own countries, they are just like us. They are just breathing like us. They are humans like us. There is no difference. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we shall all lie. And this very land on which other people are walking, other people are staying, that land is this very earth. And on this very planet, earth, all people are living together. They are just like each other. And this is the very earth in which they will be buried, or their remains will be buried when they all will die. In other words, Mother Earth does not bias between us. Whether we live or we die, this earth gives us place. Then why are we differentiating amongst ourselves? They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Here they refer to those people who belong to other countries. We call them foreigners and discriminate and fight with them also. But the poet here says that the nature has given all the bounties to all people, just like he has given to us. Those people of foreign countries also receive sunlight, air, and water just like us. They are also fed by peaceful harvests. By peaceful harvests, here the poet means that the harvests which happen during the peaceful time, the food that is grown during the time when it is peaceful, they feed on that harvest, they feed on that food. By war's long winter starved. Now, this line is a metaphor where war is compared to the long winter season. Just like in long winter season, the food is grown less. The cold winter and the shortage of food may let the people die. In the same manner, the war is also like that winter season where there is shortage of food, there could be famine, and people may die out of hunger. So, in other countries as well, or let's say throughout the world, people may be fed by good harvest in peaceful environment, or they may be starved during war, just like in winter season. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. People who belong to foreign countries, they also have hands, and their hands are also full of lines that we can read. And in those lines, we can read their labor. Labor means hard work. Their labor or the hard work that they do to earn their living is not different from what we do. Then why should we differentiate between us and them? Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. The poet here is reminding us again that those people who belong to other countries also have eyes like us, which wake up and which sleep. So they also have the same kind of routine which we all have. And strength that can be won by love. So if they are strong, they have a lot of strength. If they are hard to please, then their hearts can also be won by love, just as we can be won by love easily. So if we have peaceful conditions, if we give them a lot of love, we can win everyone's heart because they are just like us. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. This land may be divided in different countries, different regions, where people talk different languages, they have different lifestyle, but the life in general is very common. They do have a common life which can be easily recognized and understood by all of us. If we do not try to see them as different beings, if we know what is common between us, we can easily understand their living. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Now, poet here is again reminding us all that whenever we are told to go against our fellow human beings or our brothers, whenever we are told to hate a person from another country, we should not think him as our enemy. And whenever we think someone to be our enemy, then we are depriving ourselves, we cheat ourselves, and we condemn ourselves. Means we are disapproving ourselves. We are not being enemy to those other people. On the other hand, we are being enemy to ourselves. We are hating ourselves, but we feel that we are hating the other person. Remember, he who take arms against each other. Now, poet here is telling us that those people who take arms against each others, take arms means use weapons. So if we are being in enmity with someone else, we are at war and we are using weapons, we are using harmful weapons against each other, then what will happen? Let's see that in the next stanza. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. The poet here says that we should remember one thing, that if we have taken up arms, if we have picked up the weapons in enmity, in war against each other, then what will happen? It is we who are going to defile this human earth. Defile means make something very dirty or pollute. So when we are at war, that war will actually pollute the earth. It will make the earth dirty. There will be hell of fire and dust. There will be fire everywhere. There will be bomb blasts everywhere. The dust will cloud the pure air of earth. And in that kind of war-like situation, what will happen? It will outrage the innocence of air. Outrage the innocence means it will completely violate the purity of air. The air which was pure, which we all breathe today, it will become all polluted. The innocence of air will be gone. We are taking away that innocence of air, the purity of air, if we are at war, because then there'll be fire and dust all around. And this very air, which is everywhere our own, the air which everyone share, will be very impure to live in. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So all in all, we should always remember that there are no men who are strangers to us. There are no men who are foreign, and there are no countries which are weird and different from us. Everyone is the same. Everyone shares the same earth. Everyone shares the same sunlight, air, and water. We all are one. We all are same. Now let's look at the summary of this poem stanza-wise. In the first stanza, the poet is reminding us that no men are strange and no countries are foreign. Every country has got its boundaries and every country has got its military force, the Army, Navy, Air Force, which secures its boundaries and its peripheries. But have you ever thought that the people who wear those uniforms, the soldiers, are they different from us? Is Indian Army different from other countries' armies? No. Because under the uniforms that they wear, there lies the same body, the same human being which we all of us are. And all these soldiers walk on the same earth. And when they die, they all will be buried in the same earth. Then why should we differ? These people whom we call foreign, they also share the same sunlight, they share the same air that we breathe, and water. During peaceful times, when there is no war, they are fed by good harvests. Every country has got good harvests or crops which feeds its population. But when it is wartime, this wartime is like the winter season. Just as in winter season, the crops are not cultivated. Just as in winter season, we do not get much food. And so we store some food in the other seasons for this difficult period of time. In the same manner, when there is war, there is starvation all around. There is hunger all around. There is shortage of food all around. So this part of the sentence where the war is compared to the long winter season and where people starve during those times is a metaphor here. So the poet here mentions that be it peaceful situation or be it wartime situation, people have the same kind of life. In peaceful, they get a lot of food, but in wartime, they have shortage of food. The poet here also tells us that their hands, like people who belong to other countries, their hands are just like ours. They also have lines in their hands, and those are the same hands which they use for hard work and labor, just as we all do. Everybody wishes to work hard to get success, and that kind of thought process or mindset is common amongst all the human beings. Then why should we differentiate? In the third stanza, the poet is again reminding us that people who belong to other countries also have eyes just like us. They also wake up in the morning. They also sleep at night. They also have a loving heart. They also have that hardness in them, that strength in them, which can be easily pleased by love. We can win his heart by love. So in all the lands that we see on this earth, the life is common, which we can easily recognize and understand because it is the same life as what we have. Now in the fourth stanza, the poet tells us that if we are told to hate someone, if we are told to be enemies of another person of another country, then it is not that we are being enemy to that person. It is actually we are being enemy to ourselves. It is not that we are hating that other person, we are condemning him, we are cheating on him or betraying him. It is actually we are doing all these things to ourselves, because what they are, we are also the same. But then, if you take up the arms against someone, against an enemy, then what happens? That reason is very clear in the last stanza, where the poet says that if we take up arms against someone else, or if we start a war against other countries, then what will happen? We are only going to defile this earth. Defile means make this earth impure. And how do we make this earth impure? Because when there is war, there is fire all around. There is dust all around. There is destruction everywhere. And in such a situation, the air cannot be pure. So when we are at war, we are actually damaging our own earth. We are actually damaging the air that we breathe. We are snatching away the purity of this earth, and which is why it is mentioned as outrage the innocence of air. We are doing it when we are at war, and this is what we have to control. And again at the end, in the last line, the poet reminds us that no men are foreign, no countries are strange. We all live the same life, we all share the same earth when we die. There is no difference, there is equality, we all are one, we all are same. Now after this summary, let's move on to the poetic devices used here. Let's talk about the first poetic device, alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sounds of two or more consecutive words. The examples of alliteration in this poem are body breathes, where b sound is repeated, war's long winter, where w sound is repeated. Next, we come to repetition, which occurs when certain words, phrases, or lines in a poem are repeated. In this poem, the word remember is repeated 5 times. Therefore, repetition is used for this word. The next poetic device is metaphor, which means comparing two dissimilar things, objects or ideas which have something in common. or some common aspects. The example of metaphor here is in the line, by war's long winter starved. Now here, wartime is compared to the winter season in terms of scarcity of food and starvation. Next, we move to rhyme scheme of this poem. Rhyme scheme is a rhyming pattern which is created at the end of each line in a poem. Since this poem does not have a rhyme scheme, it can be called that it is a free verse. The title No Men Are Foreign sows a seed of thought in our minds. Are we really different? Should they be called as foreign just because they are living in some other country? Should we have the boundaries between countries? Should this earth be divided? And then should we discriminate each other on the basis of caste, creed, religion, customs, etc.? The poet in this poem really wants to explain that all men living on this earth, all human beings, men, women, children, everyone are equal. They are all same. So then, should we really call them as foreign? And I think that this title is actually appropriate for this poem. The message given by this poem speaks volumes of brotherhood and equality. So if we consider everybody as equal, there is no need of war between us. This hatred that we show for other countrymen is meaningless. Thus, this poem teaches us unity. And in spite of the fact that we are born in different regions, doesn't actually make us all different. We all are same, we all are equal, we have the same rights to live on this earth. This is where I'm going to wrap my session today, and I'll be flashing you the summary in the written form and the question answers only for you. Thank you very much, and I'll come again with a new topic in my next video. Till then, take good care of yourself, love everyone, care for everyone, and care for yourself as well. Bye. God bless you.